Hello guys, I'm Mark with a tutorial video for the newly released module Equation X. So, the module might look a bit intimidating at the start, but it's not that bad if you understand it. So, first of all, we have the term variable. Variable are these numbers, and they are getting replaced. No, they are replacing these letters. These are your variable letters. Then we have an integral sign, which is this. This is the integral sign. It's basically if you have an integral equation, then you have to follow a set of instructions to modify your equations to get the right answer. So first we'll start with, let's start actually with an integral one, which is in this case z of t. You can find out what is what down here, because you have a lookup table right here. So basically your diffuser is going to tell you what you have. They're all pretty easy to explain. And yeah, z of t, z and then a parentheses and a parentheses at t is z of t, which is one of the integral modules. Sorry, not modules. One of the integral equations. It's in my opinion the easy one from the two. So, first of all, you need edge work. I just explained the module for now, so you do need the full edge work for this module. So we do have 3 and 3. We have 3 and 3. We have
emergency cleared. All personnel, please return.
We have an unlit TRN and an unlit SIG. Then we have a port plate with a parallel port. And we have an RJ, RCA, and PS2. So there we go. So let's do z of t. So z of t is one of the integral equations. So first step, you have to find out what one it is. So it's right here. So you write this down on. It's probably easier if you use a piece of paper, or if you can do it somehow on the PC. That's also good, but I just use a piece of paper. So it's s, then parentheses t plus 3 parentheses dt, and then comma c equals 2. Remember that c equals 2 will be important at the end of the equation. So now you check your rule. You have a set of rules, and that will affect your equation. So z of t has the rule: if the bump has more than 6 widgets, then take the derivative of the integral. That means I won't make this confusing. I'll just give you a short answer. If this appears, then skip the C. Skip C and don't follow the instructions at the bottom. What integral does is basically it reverses all the rules at the bottom. So if you have more than 6 widgets, just don't mind them and act like your your z of t is not an integral equation, if it's just a normal equation. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do have more than 6 widgets. So it's 3, 1, yeah. It's more than 6 widgets. So basically, this one is just treated as a normal equation. So basically, I will explain integral equations later in the video. So, now, but the only thing you have to remember is you can literally skip the s and the dt. they're just to show that that it is an integral module equation. Now you just go to step 3 and then you just look at this graphic, and then you can see what number is what. So it's in parentheses. So basically, if you there's also a rule so no, sorry. If you don't have enough variables for how many you have on here, then it's just saying use as many as you can. So in this case, you would only use the left one because you have a 3, which is not a variable. It's just a number. So it's basically only 80 plus 3. That's it. 80 plus 3 is 85, is 83. 83, submit, diffused. So that's how a normal one works. This is how a normal equation works. Really simple if you understand. So now we'll get on a more confusing one. Or no, we won't get on a more confusing one. We'll get on an equation that is actually that actually has an integral in it. So we'll go for h of t, which is an h and parentheses t. So your full equation for that, I'll use a new sheet of paper. Your equation would be, well, I'll just simplify it because you don't need the s. So it's just parentheses t squared plus 4t parentheses e and c equals -5. Remember that. -5 will be important later. So now you go to the rules. If there are more than 5 batteries, then take the derivative of the integral. We don't have more than 5 batteries, so that does not apply. If the bomb has a parallel port, then change the C value to 8. We do have a parallel port. So your C value is not -5, it's 8. Just to clarify, -5 is just taking 5. It's just -5. And if it's a number without a negative sign, then it's just add. That's that. So now, we'll go over the hard part now. The integral rules. So as it says it here, integrals, the s symbol and the dt symbol can be ignored. You don't care about them anymore. So what's left is an integrand. So these things right here are integrands. You treat them separately. Like you'll get a few, now 2 set of rules, or like just 2 rules. I'm pretty sure, and you treat them individually, separately. So basically, yeah, you just do that to both. So each term's variable gets raised to its current power plus 1. So the current power is your square number or your variable. So basically, if you only have a number, for example 3, then if you add power 1, then it's just adding a variable, which means it's a 3t now. It's just adding a variable. Very simple. So now, in this case, we have variables. That basically means, in this case, this is not squared anymore. This is cubed now, because we add 1, power 1. And in this case, it's 4t. We don't have a square or any power yet, or we do have a power, we have the t. So now it's just a squared number. So it's 4t squared. So now, then each term gets multiplied by coefficient already there, which is, in that case, the number that is here, which is not present on this, so we'll just use 1. If the number is not present, if there's no number present for that, it's always 1. It's always 1. So we have 1. And the new power, which is what you just calculated, so it's 3. So it's 1 divided by 3. And that's the first part of the equation. It's 1/3 T3. 1/3 tango cubed. Now, plus. Now you have your coefficient number is your 4 that you have. And your new power is 2. And if you divide that, then you have 2. Which means you have 2t2. 2 tango 2. And then c equals 8. And now you can calculate it. For for the calculations, you need a calculator that can provide everything that's right here. It doesn't matter if you don't only have a Windows calculator, then go right here on standard, and then click right here on the 3 bars and on scientific, or on the second one. I don't know how it's called in your language. So, alright, sorry for the cut. I messed up my my input on the calculator, so I'll just do it again. So we have, so how you type this in is parentheses 1 divided by 3. Then you finish the parentheses times 64. You take the first number 64, which and then you cube the number. There we go. This is your first, and this is what you need now. So now you add, just plus 2 times 91. And you square that. You have a square here. Equals, then you have this number. You round this. So rounding this, the whole decimal number, if you have a decimal number, always round it. Then it's rounded down to 3. It stays. And now you add 8. And this is your right answer now. So 0.03951. There we go. Okay, so now I showed you an integral, an integral equation, a normal equation, and now I'll show you a normal equation, but it has an extra calculation, which is position. Sorry for the sudden cut, but the last equation I'll be talking about is the equation for position. Because position has an interesting rule. So, basically, what you have to do for position is here. Here it says what you have to calculate. So, it's x max. Max means only that it's confirming that it's just an variable. Well, it doesn't mean any. It does mean something in the actual equation for a position, but it does not matter in this module. Then you cosine that, and then you have w times t. If there's no, if there's nothing, no plus or minus or anything, and it's just not saying anything, then it's always times plus the phase angle. Sorry. So now we'll go over the rules. So if there's a 5 or 4 in the serial number, so do we have a 5 or a 4 in the serial number? We don't. Okay. So if there's the module keypad on the bomb, no. But that means turn any 5s in the number display to 8s. So any number that has 5 here, which is here. Oh wait. Okay, sorry. Just wanted to test something. Okay. So anything that is a 5 here is an 8 now if you have the module keypads on this bond. So this would be 68. And if the bomb has any solved modules, then change the cosine to a sine. We don't have any solved modules on this bomb. So now we'll get on working. Now we'll get on this. So we have cosine. That's just, so now you just like translate this again. So everything in the parentheses are these numbers. So it's 0 times 6, 5 plus 4, 3. So yeah, it's just in reading order for these ones. And then for the x max, it's the first number, which is 30. So you cosine 30. This is in the parentheses. So now you calculate it. 0 times 65 plus 43. There we go. You have 43. Cosine times 30. There we go. And now you round this. Rounding this, you would round this up. So you're rounding it to 22. So your answer is 22. And yeah, that's it for the module. If you have any questions, and down in the description I'll link the Discord. I'll link my Discord. And thanks for watching.